So we took this picture up before the crime happened, or was this supposed to be a picture that was taken before the crime happened? Be a little more specific. Lie like a dog. Everyone turned quiet because behind the victim and the defendant, they saw two spikes, obviously hair, sticking out. Therefore, I declare the criminal is me, Apollo said briefly, no sign of regret. Hair, forehead. Wait a minute. I'm a bit confused. Isn't Apollo hair, forehead? I'm confused. Whatever, let's just get this story out of the way. Hair, forehead, I understand you trying to defend me, but the guilt is main. But the defendant was cut off. I followed you to his house. I didn't want to kill him, I swear. The two of you started singing and rehearsing. So I got envious of his voice because Michael and Cecile are much better. I just wanted to keep him quiet, but I didn't want to kill him while you were in the bathroom and he was asleep. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, on the line it says while you're in the bathroom, they have a comma, and then they have the word and. But here's the thing, they capitalize the A and. If you have a comma there, you don't need to capitalize the word. And if you have the word and in a sentence, you don't need the comma. Let's continue. And he was asleep. I took a lot of pills. A lot is 2 words, not 1. Forcing it to push in his throat. And when I saw the label painkillers, I quickly got some guilt, and when I saw him collapse, I ran, leaving you behind. Wait, wasn't Michael supposed to be in bed? How could he collapse if he's already lying in bed? He explained, straightly. Okay, they spelled straight wrong. This is how they spelled straight. S-T-R-A-I-T-L-Y. Something tells me that's not how you spell it. Not a sign of guilt on his face. I charged the defense guilty. The defendant guilty too. Okay, if you're having a period after guilty, capitalize the T and the. And why is he saying the defendant is guilty? If the defendant didn't actually kill the guy, sorry, kill, you know, who, then he shouldn't be guilty, the judge said. Atch tongue didn't. Okay, this person really has awful grammar. They say at chung, and they have a period, and then they have didn't hair, da 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 da, and they didn't. First of all, that should be a comma. If you know they're gonna have, if it's gonna be a period, the D and didn't shouldn't be capitalized. If it's supposed to be, if it's not supposed to be a period, they should have it be a comma. Let's continue reading. At chung, didn't hair, forehead explain properly? He is the criminal. If you have a question mark at the end of properly, the H and he should be capitalized. Jeez. Let's continue. He is the criminal, not me, Gavin said, slapping his forehead. I charge you guilty because you didn't bring me a voice recording of his songs. My grandson is a fan, the judge said sheepishly. Court is adjourned. Please review. Okay, let's read the review I gave this person, shall we? In my own words, I'm an anonymous reviewer, so this person's probably gonna delete my review, but this is what it says. FanFic Critic. This story sucked in capital letters. I'm sorry, but it is really disrespectful to write a story about someone who recently died and have the story seem like a really bad comedy. And that's what it felt like. I mean, listen to that ending. Oh, I'm saying you're guilty too because you didn't get me his soundtrack. That is just stupid. I'm sorry, but this story is awful. Not really because of the story, but because of who is in it. This clearly was written after Michael Jackson died. And so they wrote this fanfic about him being murdered, and they're acting like it's a big joke. I mean, this is just territory you do not want to go into. Michael Jackson was a real person. The only time you could really get away with him being in a fanfic is if you're writing a fanfic about the Moonwalker movie, or The Wiz. Because those were 2 movies he was in. Everything else is off limits. I mean, unless, you know, unless there's like a singer music section maybe. But this is just wrong. The layout is atrocious. The grammar is atrocious. And the author is just incredibly disrespectful. I mean, even if you didn't like the guy, you should still have some respect. I don't know, this author just disgusts me. He really does disgust me. Well, I'm the FanFic Critic. I read it, you listen.